Okay, hello and welcome back, or welcome to the MP4 installment podcast. I don't know if we're going to rename this channel, but we've taken a break from doing the podcast. We're moving towards, some casual content or whatnot. And I'm here with my one of my best friends, Carson, who's what some would consider both an expert on women and music. They call me that too, but they mainly call Carson that. Carson,
Um,
welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Carter. I'm very flattered that you call me an expert in women, but I'm totally ready to tear down some artists and analyze some women's taste.
So, for those that don't understand by the title, what we're doing is we are, as dating advice experts and dating experts, we are telling you what artist fan bases to avoid or which ones to look for. Getting a read on the type of audience, the type of girl you're gonna find based off of the music taste we're given. And we both listen to like a lot of women music, so we're
We
like
did
the
our
perfect people to talk about this.
we did our best to try to get like a variety in here, so we got like a little bit of everything without overlap. We tried to avoid that as much as we can.
Yeah, so there's not gonna be every artist. It's not gonna be like a list of the top 50 most listened to artists by women or whatever, but it's enough to where I feel like we can cover every subgroup or enough where we can talk about people without overlapping on everyone.
If you're a girl and you're watching this, and we're wrong, let us know. We'd love to see how the experience clashes that we've had with girls and what they actually think.
I guess we're gonna go and get to an artist that me and you both like. We're gonna start top to bottom here. We're gonna go with Lana Del Rey. What are your thoughts on Lana Del Rey girls, Carson?
As a Lana stan myself, I think they have to go instant wifey material, and it's not just because like the traditional like Lana girl, like the coquette, like trad wife esque, like that. Obviously that's her like most of her like the brand of her fans, but basically like every type of like mentally ill girl listens to Lana in some capacity. I think just for like the diversity itself, wife material, 100%.
First, actually, I want to explain this before I give my take on it. We've usually on a tier list, the red's on the top, the green's on the bottom. We colored it to where, your top is like your green flag, your bottom's your red flag, stay away. That's why we have all these tiers sort of named in that manner. But with Lana girls specifically, I don't know if I know any Lana girls that aren't like really attractive. They're always very attractive, and every attractive girl that I know listens to Lana. But there's a lot of Lana girls I do know, not all of them, but a lot of Lana girls I do know that like I would describe as like the 304 archetype. You know what I'm talking about with especially with like some of her songs being at least sexual in a manner. I do think
I
there
think I know what.
there is like definitely a group of Lana fans that are like you kind of want to stay away from.
Definitely, but I think that can be said for just about every artist. But I think that Lana definitely cultivates an appealing aesthetic. Definitely an aesthetic that's very wifey. The coquette kind of trad wife kind of vibe. I mean, I think most guys can kind of vibe with that. Like I think 90% of the time, a Lana stand's going to be like a green flag.
I think we can put her like right here for now. Maybe move her up later. We'll see where everyone else falls, but I'm down to move
Yeah,
her up to wife material later, depending on how the list looks.
yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
All right, so another artist which we're both big fans of. What are your thoughts on Olivia Rodrigo girls?
Honestly, I'm really tempted to put this one in waifu material as well. I mean, or at least she's got to go high. Olivia Rodrigo is like very mainstream. You get that diversity the same kind of with like Lana. I don't know a single like not bad girl that listens to Olivia Rodrigo. And I feel like all of her songs are kind of like everybody can kind of relate to. Again, that diversity 100% just like secures a top spot, I think.
Some of her moves, she's not whiny. Like she complains about relationships, but
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
not
yeah.
whiny. Like a lot of her stuff, it's like this guy treats me terrible, and I love that.
Uh huh. Uh huh. It's kind of no. It's more like this guy treats me terrible, and I'm gonna kill him. And I think that there's
Yeah.
something appealing to that.
But there is a bit of an issue if they went to Guts World Tour. You got to worry if she's gonna if they're gonna kill your baby if you like have kids or whatever.
I don't know, man. That Stu Peters video that was really funny.
But you got to worry because she had like the Plan B pill she handed out and the abortion fund for good or whatever for her Guts concert. If you're looking to have kids, that's something you gotta think about.
I think that, yeah, but from a like physical attractiveness perspective, she's definitely securing a top spot, 100%.
Yeah. Except for that one photo I sent you of that girl I took to Barbie and her four friends to go to Olivia concert. That was rough.
That
But
was rough. That was rough.
I think because for me, and I'm also taking into account like this high person like dateability for this. That's why it's green and red flag rather than just being pretty. I think she's like probably like right here. I think if it wasn't for Guts
Put
World
her one
Tour,
below.
I'd have her right here, but like the Guts World Tour stuff is a bit of a worry. But I do really like that she's not whiny and her fan base is not like whiny. You know, I do really like that.
Yeah, and from a musical perspective, she does something different than a lot of like pop artists. You know, she brings a lot of like pop punk, rock elements into her pop music. I think that's super cool. That's what got me into her. So I feel like girls like have that kind of interest. They definitely, they've got good taste. What can I say?
All right, next up, I actually have a lot to say about this one. We have Taylor Swift. Actually, I kind of want to go first on this one because I have a bit of long rant. As of 3 months ago, I started listening to Taylor Swift a lot. I think she's very air dependent with her fan base because early on in her career with like the Red era or debut or Fearless, she had this like appeal to her that was very like it was in the country girl era, and it was also very like sexually tame, I'd say. It was sort of like the innocent girl persona. And when Reputation rolled around, which is my favorite era, she starts embracing like alcoholism or being upfront about her sexuality or whatnot. And it sort of is the question where it's like, at least for me, the psychology of women, I think women should be want peace. Like if you want a woman that cleans your house, takes care of your home, takes care of your kids well, you want a woman that likes peaceful stuff most of like or inoffensive stuff. Like you don't want women that like want to be super aggressive or offensive. And Taylor Swift sort of embodies that, but like with something like Reputation, it's like a niche sound. Like it's like a trap and like a rap hip hop. Like that's niche. So it's a bit different. I think it's era dependent. So I'd put it in 50-50, but I'm curious to know what you think about it.
I like that analysis. I like that take on it. Focusing on Reputation is interesting because that's like not usually the first album that I think of whenever I think of Taylor Swift. I think in 1989, I think a lot of her, earlier country stuff or her like later, I think of generally just her poppy
Yeah,
stuff. And I
yeah.
think that really hits on the, kind of just like soft and, sweet kind of aesthetic that you would like look for in somebody.
Oh,
I think the
absolutely.
Reputation, yeah, I think the Reputation kind of that era, that album, like that's a very like small part of her career, very small part of her discography. Now, a lot of good songs on there, a lot of songs that I like on there, but I don't think that's representative of her fan base. I would
Like
put Taylor Swift in Certified Baddie personally. Again, you're hitting on that
okay,
diversity.
okay.
Taylor Swift, super main.
Folklore I'd be like cool with. Like if she likes folklore, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Except for that one
That
girl,
might be my favorite.
that might be a bit except for that one girl, folklore is like a is usually a good sign.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and again, you hit on that diversity. Taylor Swift is so mainstream. There's so many girls like Taylor Swift. I think again, top spot 100%.
I think she's above Olivia behind Lana.
Ooh. I want to put her above Olivia and behind Lana. I think that's a good spot where she's
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. All right. I think when we discussed this before, you said you didn't know a lot about Radiohead girls or whatever. So,
Yeah, no, I've never met a girl that listens to Radiohead like regularly in person. I have my own thoughts on Radiohead that a lot of people disagree with. I'm not a huge fan. Maybe I'm wrong. Haven't
you
listened to
are.
them to a bunch, but definitely. I've definitely never met a girl that's like super into Radiohead.
Well, it's like
So
Radiohead, the whole aesthetic from like a lot of their music, it's like nihilism and incel music. Like if you're a woman, you're listening to
yeah,
like
I was I was gonna say that. Like this is like sad guy music. Like if you're a girl and you're listening to sad guy music,
I
like
think
you've got something
that's
wrong.
definitely right here. Yeah, it's not like we'll
I
get into
would
ones
I
that are
would put
worse.
it lower.
We might get
I
into
would put
ones
it.
that are worse. There's a certain band I'm looking at right now that might be worse, but we'll see. We'll see.
I,
What do you think about Ice Spice?
Ooh, if you're a girl and Ice Spice is in your top artists, you're definitely not hitting on that any of that soft girl kind of like any none of the stuff that we like about the Taylor Swift girls. You're definitely sort of ratchet. You're definitely like I'm tempted to say low class here, but Yeah, no, I don't think that this is anywhere near a top spot. I
Is
would
it?
say you'll be lucky to find someone good, but I don't think they're stay away because I think they can be fun.
Yeah, that's true. I think there are like some poppy people that like Ice Spice. Not a lot, but there are some people that just like sort of listen to her like a
Mhm.
bit, you know.
Or like it's like a meme thing, you know. You thought I was feeling you, like it's a joke, you know.
I'm this the Smiths can we I think we know
Oh,
where the Smiths are going, right?
where do we even start? She if she listens to the Smiths, she definitely hates Morrissey. 100%. And you're hitting on that like incel, like sad dude music. Like if you're a girl listening to that, like what are you doing? Like you're honestly, that's like doing the same thing that we do with like listening to like Lana Del Rey. Nah, stay away, stay
See,
away.
like I don't know a lot of Smiths girls, but I watched this movie called 500 Days of Summer, so I know where to go with this.
Save horror movie.
It's gotta be down here. All right, next up we have cigarettes after sex.
I know a lot of really attractive girls that listen to cigarettes after sex. I think it's definitely a W. I'm tempted to put it above Lana. Tempted, but
Okay, but
I don't
like
think we can go
what
there.
about like I agree with you on the attractive lady part, but what about like dateability or marriageability, like the woman you'd want to present to like your mother? Because there's also a lot of like a big like 304 base with cigarettes after sex.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, then maybe we put it behind Lana, but I would say probably not wifey material. Definitely not wifey material, just because of like the subject matter of the music. But it's slow, it's melancholic. You know, it has this like it has a beauty to it. You know, and I think that a girl that can kind of acknowledge that, you know, maybe she can be saved. You know, maybe she is a 3 or 4. Maybe she is, you know, these things that are undesirable. But I think that this girl can be saved.
I think it's like probably like above or below Olivia. I think it's probably like right over here.
Yeah, probably below
I think yeah,
Olivia.
I think that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Deftones.
Ooh. I'm really tempted to put this in wifey material again. There's a lot, just you know, emo girls. You know, enough said. I feel like
I have the same view with cigarettes after sex, less severe. I think there's a lot of attractive girls listen to Deftones, but you do need like a bit of. I think you need to be like a bit peaceful, I guess, to be like a mother or like a wife. Like if I'm, you know, like let's say like you're working a really hard shift, 9 to 5, you're working like a coal mine or like you're an electrician or an engineer or a construction worker, and you know, like you worked a really hard day, and then you go home to like a wife, and she's a Deftones type, like she's like super like angsty and depressed and like expressive. Like I want someone that's kind of like chill, you know?
I feel that totally, but I don't know. I feel like if you just like come home to a girl and she's like, you know, really just like rocking out. I don't know. I mean, I vibe with the Deftones vibe, and again, it's Deftones are mainstream at this point. So like, you just have the there's so many different types of people. I feel like you gotta put this like higher up. You know, you can't just focus in on like the undesirable aspects because there's just so many different people that.
Well, yeah, but if there so like if there are undesirables, that'd be like 50-50, or there are a lot of quality girls. Certified baddie, it's like you know they're good, you know. So like if there's like a possibility of a red flag, I feel like there has to be at least there are a lot of quality girls or lower.
I'm saying put it behind Lana. I think that's the best spot for it.
What about right here? I think right here's fine.
No, that's good with me. Yeah.
Okay. We we have this page Drake.
So we used the standard like stock like Spotify picture for everybody except Drake because we knew we'd be able to find some super out of pocket like zesty picture of him, and we did obviously.
Oh, Drake's like a I feel like Drake's a bit of a mixed bag too. But sorry. Have they seen Drake's leak? That's an important question here. Have they seen Drake's leak? This is a very important question.
If Drake's a top artist, they definitely have seen Drake's leak. And I think that if you're a girl and you listen to Drake, like I feel like you're in Bop territory. Like you're getting very close to Bop territory. I'm tempted to put this below Ice Spice, actually.
I think I'd put it right above her. There's a couple because like I feel like his music is kind of poppy to an extent. Like it's still rap for a large part, but there's a lot that's kind of
Some
like
of
it's
his
hard
older
to
stuff,
hate.
I think, yeah, the older stuff is it's good. I like Drake's music 100%. But I'm just saying, like the archetype of like a female Drake listener I feel like that's quite undesirable. Just like in
That's
my
true.
mind, my preconceived
It's
ideas of that.
I'm gonna put it right above
Above or
Ice
below Ice Spice?
Spice for reasons I'm not gonna specify in the video. All right, so we got Kanye West next.
Kanye's a mixed bag, complete mixed bag. I love Kanye, 100%. Kanye is in my top artist, has been for a long time. But a girl that listens to Kanye, I mean, I feel like there's something that's a little off about that. I feel like you're touching Drake territory there a little bit. I want to put it in 50-50. I
I
don't think
agree.
it's
I
quite as
agree.
bad, just because I love Kanye's music so much.
At least we can like
Uh,
vibe, Like at least I don't have to
yeah, yeah,
play your
yeah.
garbage,
Even if she is a bop, I can still jam to Yeezus. We can still put on Black Skinhead and we can still go crazy. So, yeah, I can definitely still vibe with her.
Yeah. I think there's definitely like a what's your favorite song issue there. Like if I meet a girl, she says she likes Kanye, I gotta get her favorite song. If it's like something like Bound to, we're cool, we're chill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that's not my favorite song, but like that's a fine answer for a woman to have.
hmm
But if it's something
Convert.
like
What's the opposite of that? If you ask a girl what her favorite Kanye song is, and what's she gonna say that's gonna put you like, "Ugh."
Carnival, Back to Me,
Yeah,
um,
basically anything off of Vultures except like Burn or the Northwest song.
yeah, that's like wholesome. Like that's your favorite song. That's wholesome.
Yeah,
Or she like her favorite song is Praise God because she likes TikTok. That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
that's
Yeah, I think 50-50 is
if you
solid
find
spot
if
for
you
that.
find a girl who likes Kanye West because she likes Jesus King, that's like tip. That's peak. Okay,
That's yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
That
instant
type of
wifey
girl goes to wife
material.
beater.
All right, next up we have Amy Winehouse. I know you said you don't know any women that like her.
I don't I don't know a single one. I honestly didn't even know a song whenever you first mentioned it, whenever we were talking about making this video. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this because I don't have any experience.
There's a certain girl I guess I'm acquainted with, friends with. I'm not sure. She sent me a really weird DM. I think I sent it to you. I'm not gonna refer to it in the video because I don't want to talk about her. I guess I'll message it to you real quick.
Okay, okay. Think of doxing anybody out here.
Well, I don't like talking about people publicly in a manner I don't talk about them, or privately in a manner I won't talk to them, to their face. I just DM'd you, the girl that listens to Amy Winehouse that I know. For some reason, Amy
Yeah,
Winehouse
okay.
fans, she has like I don't know if I want to curse on here, but like the C word, the one referring to the female body part. They have that archetype, and they say that word a lot. That's how they describe themselves. So they're like,
Yeah, from the few songs that I listen to, I'm not getting good vibes. I think we're definitely gonna put this. I want to put it below Ice Spice. From what you told me, from what I know from the music, below Ice Spice.
yeah, I don't know if it's quite dismiss level, but I think that's fine.
Uh huh.
Because
Yeah.
there's also like dads that like Amy Winehouse. So if you like it because like your dad likes it, that's like the only redeeming factor.
Uh huh. Yeah. No. Honestly, girls that get their music taste from their dad, that's elite. Girls out there, you want to find good music? Go talk to your dad.
Right, next up we have The Weeknd.
On
Actually,
Weekend Girls, I get similar vibes to Drake. I'm gonna say immediate like red flag, but not all the time. There's a lot of good Weekend songs, but if she pulls up like or nah or something, nah, kick her out. Like throw it to the curb, get rid of that girl, stay away. Um, but I think that there's some, there's a lot of mainstream Weekend songs. If it's something like Blinding Lights,
yeah, pop,
like
like he's cool.
yeah, 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 totally. It's chill. I would put Weekend in 50-50, I would say. I think that's a good solid spot because he's got a lot of mainstream stuff, but I think his general like archetype or the general type of female Weekend listener, probably not wifey material. But I mean, I love the music. I'm a massive Weekend fan myself,
I
so.
think I'd probably put like right above Kanye. I think that's where I'd put it.
Ooh, I don't know about above Kanye. I don't know if I vibe like because the redeeming quality about that is like being able to vibe with the girl. I like a lot of Weekend music. I don't like Weekend music more than I like Kanye music, so I feel like we
That's
should put it below.
true. But I feel like I'd be like a tad bit less worried if you said you like The Weeknd, just because it's more mainstream.
Yeah, actually thinking about it like that right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Leave it above. Leave it above.
All right, next up we have Party Next Door.
We're hitting worse than Drake, honestly, and I feel like the perfect spot for this is in between Drake and Ice Spice because it's less mainstream than Drake. It's probably just as like low class and trashy
I wasn't
as Ice Spice.
I wasn't familiar with Party Next Door, so I looked at their top song. I read the lyrics to see the subject matter and listen to it. And also about like a it was about like a stripper or something. I was like, okay, yeah, this is like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we were making this list and everything, like I was thinking of like the top three. Like, if a guy plays it in the car, it's like super cringe, and then if a girl plays it like in a car, you just run. Like that's kind of what I had in mind with those kind of artists. So yeah, 100%. I think that's the perfect spot in between Drake and Ice Spice.
all right. Next up, we have TV Girl.
You already know they're bad. I mean,
That's
TV
I
Girls got
agree.
a
I agree. I agree.
TV Girls got a really
100%.
unique sound. I like where you're putting it. I like where you're putting it right below Lana. I think that's a good spot for it. There's a lot of just like there's a lot of sweet songs. There's a lot of just it's just good music. You've got good taste. Um,
I feel like yeah, and if you're like into TV Girl, like it's the type I feel like I don't want to say those women are like probably easy, but like they're really into music. So like if you have good music taste, that's probably like a good way to I don't know, flirt or talk with them or get acquainted with them.
yeah, I feel like that's one of the most redeeming qualities about somebody. Like if they've got good music. Like we were saying earlier, we can just vibe with them. Even if they're a bop, even if they've got these undesirable qualities, you can still vibe with the music. And I feel like TV Girl definitely I can vibe with that. Definitely
We can
deserves
go
its
we can
spot.
go thrifting
Back.
together for sure. I bet TV Girl girls love thrifting probably. It seemed like
Oh
they
yeah,
did.
and they're
So
definitely they're all bisexual too.
it's a bit worrying, but all right. Next up we have Chase Atlantic. Your
This is
girlfriend's
one
a
that
Chase
caught her.
Atlantic fan, right?
Yeah, she's a big Chase Atlantic fan, and I'm tempted to not put this super high just because of the subject matter of the song, but musically and lyrically, like they're very very good. If a girl likes Chase Atlantic, she definitely has a thing for accents. The lead singer, he's Australian, I believe, and uh, and yeah, I think that if you listen to them, you definitely are into that. I want to put this at 50-50.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd categorize your girlfriend as like a good lady. So like what percentage of like Chase Atlantic fans would like fall under that would like fall under that versus, the I guess sexually promiscuous or it's something that you'd want to worry about.
I would say it's 50-50, 100%. I know my girl doesn't fall into that, but it's just good music. You definitely were like on TikTok in like 2021, 2022. That's kind of like when they like blew up and got real popular. I would put it probably below Kanye.
I agree. How I don't listen to them. How niche I guess is their music like in other words, how curated is it to like a specific audience? Like Kanye is a bit more mainstream than let's say, some like emo band, because emo is like it's like specific to like a genre. How specific is like Chase Atlantic to like a specific taste?
They don't really have a genre, really. Some people have like classified them as like rock, I guess, but a lot of their music's like electronic. But there's also this guy that does a saxophone, and so it's a really just like a different type of music. It's mainly used in like TikTok edits. So I feel like if you're a girl and you like Jason Atlantic, you probably found it from a TikTok edit. It's probably not that worrying. Uh, yeah, I think the 50-50 is just the still the
Yeah.
perfect place for it. But it's not super tailored to a specific audience. I
Okay.
wouldn't say.
Okay.
Just because the music's so like unique, it's just so different.
Well, I think that's a good thing. I don't think women should really be into music that's sort of, tailored.
Yeah, I think we've got it at a good spot.
Yeah. Next up we have Noah Khan. That's like up here, right?
It's got to go wife material.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
know so many Noah Khan girls, and they're always like the sweetest. They're always super pretty. I Noah Khan is an elite artist. If you got Noah Khan in your top, you're like 100% wifey material. A lot of his songs, again, they hit on that kind of like that. They're sad. They're not quite as melancholic as something like Cigarettes After Sex, but they're definitely just it gets you just like it gets you in a sad mood. It makes me feel bad for the guy, honestly, singing it. Um,
He
yeah,
performed with Olivia the other day in
he performed with a
the
lot of
Dance World
people.
Tour.
Yeah, Shawn Mendes recently too. Olivia. Yeah, he does a lot of collaborations and stuff like that. He's got a great cover of Lacey by Olivia Rodrigo, and Olivia
Okay,
Rodrigo
I
has a
don't know
great
that.
cover of Sixth Season.
Yeah.
You don't, you know that? You know the Lacey cover?
No, I haven't. They did duet stick
Oh, you
season.
gotta listen to it.
All right.
Yeah,
Maybe I
Nocon's an
will
elite
after.
artist. Yeah, definitely. Nocon's an elite artist, 100% wife material.
Okay, next up we have Billie Eilish.
Dude, I called her that in like sixth grade. I remember like a bunch of girls got mad at me. They were like, "It's Eilish." I'm like, I know.
What's the
Uh,
percent? What's the
I
chance they're bisexual?
it's like 85%. Yeah, it's like 85%. But I do know a lot of like normal girls that like Billie Eilish's music. I feel like it's mainstream enough. If Eilish is in your like pop artist, that's whenever you get in like heavy bisexual territory. But she's got a lot of good songs. She was definitely more like popular, more mainstream back like a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Probably like when I was in sixth grade. But I feel like there's probably still a lot of quality girls. I feel like we could put this maybe above Cigarettes After Sex, below Olivia. I feel like
I
that's probably right.
I think that's fair. I remember when I went to Barbie the second time on the date, I guess you could call it. Everyone, all the women started crying at the Billie Eilish song, and it was kind of just funny because it was just like the
Yeah,
song was so stupid, but it's just like the song was sad, so they cried.
yeah, I forgot she was in the Barbie movie. That boosts her relevancy. No, that song, it was a good song.
Oh,
I'll
I
give it
agree. I
that.
agree.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
only
spot for
a
her.
couple of songs cried to just from, yeah, just a song. Like movie scenes, like crying to a movie scene with a song is different. Like the song helps, but like you wouldn't cry to it without the movie scene, you know? For
Yeah,
example,
totally.
like Up, you wouldn't
Let's
cry
hear
to
it,
the Up
girl.
song without the movie scene or surrounding it. Or like the sad part of a movie of like a dog movie or something. But like,
Yeah, when I watched the Billie Eilish movie, I was too busy vibing with Ken to cry to that song. But
yeah, yeah.
maybe if Ken was in it,
Now,
I
I'm
might have.
Just Ken, that's a valid song to cry to.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Next up we have Fleetwood Mac. I think this is
This
like I don't know
this
if
is
we
elite.
disagree on this. I think this is elite. This is like dad rock music, femcel dad rock music. Or not femcel, but female like dad rock music. I think that's like wifey material for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. Definitely elite. Definitely up there with No Con. But again, it's just kind of it's sweet music. It's calm. I could definitely just like drive in my car with the top down. Playing some Fleetwood. Like it's great. 100% wife material.
Yeah.
And she's got a taste for older things. She likes classic vibes. She likes things like that. I think that's wife material.
Do you think it's below or above Noah Khan?
It's definitely below. And I'm doing that just based off like personal experience. I
Okay.
know more Noah Kahan girls just because he's more like relevant right now. But yeah, no, I think that's a perfect spot for her.
Yeah, I think I
Where it's
know
at.
I know more Fleetwood Mac girls, even though there's a lot of like country girls over here. It's also like there's a lot of like dad rock girls here. So I think I just know a lot more. Well,
Uh-huh.
I'm not in school anymore. Well, I'm in college, but like I'm not like in school. So it's not like I'm meeting people. Noah Khan's more recent, so I'm not meeting people still, in the same way I did like 3 years ago.
Right.
So that's why I asked you because I don't know. I only see him on social media for the most part. The Noah Khan
Yeah, yeah.
fans.
I know what you mean. Just based off my personal experience, I think our list is in a pretty good spot.
Okay. Next up, we have Nirvana.
Nirvana is my favorite band. It's been my favorite band for a long time. But if you're a Nirvana girl, I feel like you stink. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you definitely smell bad. If Nirvana's in your top artists and you're like
We
really
gotta
vibing with that
we
like
gotta preface this
grunge
for
aesthetic.
for the audience. We gotta preface this. If you walk and you see a girl in a Nirvana shirt, that's not what we're talking about. Most people that wear Nirvana shirts are not into Nirvana. Okay, it's just like a fashion statement. Like, don't be
Nirvana's my
like,
favorite collection, guys.
yeah, don't be like, oh, that's a weirdo. But like, if they actually like listen to like a lot of Nirvana, outside of one person I know, which I think is fine. Um, I think
I know
it's
a girl that like she listens to Nirvana. She listens to a lot of rock music, but she's definitely not like that.
I
Not
think
super into it.
I'd
But
put
like
I'd
the
put
aesthetic.
grunge over rap artists though. I think.
Yeah, I would say that just because like most of the girls that listen to older music probably don't vibe with the aesthetics that would have been like around the time like when that music was popular. So I think that yeah, that's a good spot for it right above Drake. But yeah, no, if you're a girl with like the grunge aesthetic, you definitely have not showered in like the last week. You definitely just smell gross and
Okay.
just don't just stay away from it, please.
All right, next up we have Mitski.
Mitzi girls are just sad, bro. That's, I mean, I want to put them in the baddie category because I feel like she's got a lot of really pretty music, but it is sad. I want to put it below TV Girl. I think that's a good spot for her. I feel like I know a lot of girls that like Mitski, and I know a lot of bad girls that like
Yeah, I,
Mixie.
I agree. I
Mitski.
agree.
So
You need to
yeah,
check their personality first, but like they're probably pretty, and they're probably at least
eight
somewhat
times out of
decent. Yeah.
8 times out of 10 certified baddie.
All right. Next up, we have Pierce the Veil. We got emo girl territory, I guess.
Yeah, this is sort of emo girl territory. I feel like if you probably like follow Jake Weber on TikTok, if you like Pierce the Veil, I want to put this above the Deftones category. Just it's a similar genre person. I feel like that is in the that kind of music. There's a little bit of overlap there. This is a little bit maybe less mainstream, and I think that warrants a spot above Deftones. What do you think?
I think like most Deftones like girls I know, I like the emo girl aesthetic if it's not too much. But most Deftones girls I know or not Deftones, sorry, most Pierce the Veil girls I know are pretty good looking. But like, why are you angry? Like why are you listening to like angry angsty music? Like why are you're a lady? Why are you angry? You know?
Again, yeah, you kind of get into the same territory that you do with the Deftones girl, but I think that this might just be a little bit better. The Deftones, you get a lot more of like the I don't know. I feel like you get more like the sexual, like promiscuous themes in the Deftones music than you
I
do in
agree. I
Pierce the
agree
Veil.
with that.
Yeah, so I would say definitely not the most quality girl probably. If we're just thinking like the archetype of
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna
a
put them
Pierce
in the
the
later
Veil,
tiers. Put them right there.
yeah, I feel like that's a perfect spot for it because I know some Pierce the Veil girls that are like super chill. They just like rock music. That's
Right.
it.
All right. Next up, we have 17. It's a K-pop group. I don't know anything about the group. I'm just using them as an example for K-pop. If you're a Korean and you like K-pop, like that's cool. Okay. But if you're like an American lady and you like K-pop, that's kind of weird.
A hot take here. I disagree. All of the K-pop girls that I know, they're sweet. They're super nice. I've got no issue with the K-pop girls.
See,
Um, Most of them are just normal. They probably run like a stan Twitter account, and that's okay. They definitely have a thing for Asian guys. If they listen to K-pop, they probably have a thing
that's
exclusively for Asian
that's even
guys.
worse because they probably like twink boys. That's even a bigger issue.
No, that's my territory.
That's that's a big issue.
I want to put K-pop high. I mean, I'm a little bit biased here, being in the twink territory, but I want to put it in the certified baddie. I want to put it above Mitski.
I'm not doing that. Because when I was in
Oh, come
ninth grade, when K-pop started popping off, it was like this group of people, and they sort of acted like women acted on Twitter, like in real life. And like I remember they used the word it was some word for normie. It wasn't normie. I don't remember what it was. But they were like super obsessed with like a weird subgenre culture or niche culture. And it's like they'd say words like period and slay. This is like before it became like a wide used thing a widely used thing. They were sort of like, quick to the trend. I think that's just it's kind of weird. Like women usually should just like follow the trend once it becomes popular, not be,
there's
aggressive to it.
yeah, they're more than likely pretty terminally online, and most of them are probably annoying. But I feel like they're still genuine and they're still sweet people. Not quite wifey material, but I mean, you got to put it at certified baddie at least, at least.
But also it's like so my objections are the twink thing. I think that's an issue, and I can say that because you call yourself that word, so I can say it.
Yeah, go for it. I don't care.
No, I'm being careful for YouTube or whatever because they're stupid about that stuff. But I think that's an issue because at least for me, I think the foundation for civilization is the traditional archetype of masculine man, feminine woman, and that's sort of like if she wants like a feminine dude, she's probably either aggressive or has like attachment issues. Like for example, like we'll talk about this later with Harry Styles, but like if she's sort of like into that whole aesthetic, like she probably like has been single for like a long time and is friends with a bunch of gay guys and never dates the gay guys because they're gay. And then they're just like left lonely and have like a kid at like 30 and no father for the kid. That's sort of like the vibe I get from that. And like I feel like K-pop girls are type of girls that want to go to Japan and know nothing about Japan They just want to go to Japan for no reason.
Are
You know what I'm
they
talking
like
about,
the
right?
female? Yeah, are they like the female version of the guys that watch anime and then want to like speak Japanese and live over there and just because they watch anime?
Yeah, yeah, it's a bit different because anime is like it's like a I don't it's like male version of smut, I guess. Not in like the sense of like it being disgusting as smut, but like it's like curated towards your like deepest desires, like as a man's like being like a
Some anime,
big leader
some
and
anime.
taking things over as like a as an anime, whereas smut is like it's like being I'm not gonna describe this, but I think you get the point I'm orchestrating.
I think you made some good points against the K-pop girls. Where would you put them?
I'd put it like I think I can see your side of it for it being there's like women that are just like nice about it that like it's also like dance move music, it's fun, you know.
Yeah,
It's like are they a stan or not? That's a big issue for me. Are they a stan? So for me, I think the question of like are they a stan or not makes it like an automatic 50-50 because it's dependent upon like what type of fan they are.
yeah, I would agree with you about that. But I don't know. I think even if they are Stan, they're going after some like little Asian guy. It's not like they're going after some like. It's not like the Drake girls that all want to like all the 14 inches or whatever that he's got. Like it's. I feel like there's more to work with the K-pop girls. Like I feel like that's a less like even
Yeah.
if they are Stan,
I think I
it's
also
a
if it's like
more
an
the
and I
standard's just different. The type of guy that they're into is just different. And I think that the Asian guy, the sweet little Asian boy, is a lot better than like some of the alternatives that we have a lot lower.
if you're like an Asian dude and you find an Asian woman that likes K-pop, that's awesome. That's awesome. She's like they're like she's sticking with her her heritage or whatever. Or if she's not, Korean, she's sticking at least to like the country origin. And it's also like it's peaceful and she likes Korean dudes or Asian dudes. Like if it's an Asian woman that likes K-pop, that's like awesome. If you're like a white girl that likes K-pop, that's a bit weird. That's how I view it. I think we put it like right here. I think it's a good compromise point.
Yeah, I'll settle for that. I'll settle for that.
All right. Next up, we have Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran girls are just sweet, dude. I mean, it's romantic pop music. It's love songs. It's upbeat. It's happy. Some of it's sad, but I think for the most part, most like Ed Sheeran songs, like they're upbeat. I will put these in wife material.
Do they think Ed Sheeran's hot though? Because if you think Ed Sheeran's hot, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
Like you,
they're retarded. Yeah. Can we say that on YouTube?
probably not, but it's fine.
But wife and material, wife and material.
I guess so. I guess so. But I think it's at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's more basic. Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran's like more mainstream.
Ed Sheeran should not rap though. I don't know why he rapped on Endgame on Reputation. That was weird. Have you heard his verse of that song? It's so weird. And I love
I'll
that
have to
song.
refresh myself.
I love Future's verse.
Yeah.
I love Taylor's verse. Taylor's not a rapper, but her verse is fine. I don't know what Ed Sheeran was doing. It was just weird. All right, next up we have Melanie Martinez. We're both a bit of what is her fan base called? Are they called Melheads? That's what they should be called.
I don't know. Hold on, wait. What are they called? I'm gonna Google it real quick.
I feel like Melheads is a good term,
I feel like it's like crybabies or something.
but women are very
Yeah.
into like lyrical stuff. Like that's why women read a lot more than men. I think if men read, it's like
Yeah.
historical
100.
or philosophical, but women just read for reading. Or
Mm-hmm.
women pay attention to lyrics more, themes. That's why like they like Taylor Swift or whatever because they relate to the music. I mean, also from compositional standpoint, I can rant about this for 30 minutes. I think we've had conversations like this before. So like with someone like Melanie Martinez, I think her music, like if you listen to the music itself as a lady, that's a good thing because her music is peaceful, catchy, upbeat. That's great. But she also has songs like Orange Juice or Training Wheels where it's like I'm a bit worried if you listen to Melanie Martinez.
I'll give my take. If you're a girl and you listen to Melanie Martinez and she's in your top artists, you are not okay. There's something wrong. There's something deeply wrong. Uh, Not only with just the imagery of, especially her latest stuff with
Oh
the
yeah, for
cat with the
sure,
four
for
eyes.
sure.
Like there's something deeply wrong. You're definitely ill. You most likely have an eating disorder. This is staying far away from wifey material. I want to put this in 50-50 just because of the things that you described, Carter. some of her songs are, they're upbeat, they're happy, they're poppy and catchy, and things like that. But there's also the other side of it. There's the orange juice girls. I feel like we just got to put that lower.
I think that's fair. I have a good friend that like Melanie Martinez. She's like married, has kids, good Catholic lady. So like there's definitely a good side. But like
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
definitely.
agree. Maybe I was a little too hard on the Melanie Martinez fans, but I don't think that they get anywhere near wifey material because there's a lot of sweet girls who listen to Melanie Martinez. But
Yeah. A lot of most of the women I talk to don't even like portals. If they're into portals, that's more worrying.
yeah,
Most of the male heads, I'm using that term now. Most of male heads, they're not even like that big. You know, they listen to like Crybaby Middle School and then K-12 whenever it came out.
yeah, most of the
They're not.
songs I like on K12.
I think that's like
Above Chase Atlantic on the 50/50, but below Kanye. I'm feeling that. What do you think?
I was gonna put it like bottom of up here, but I think I take your word more on this. I think that's fine. Next up we
Yeah,
have
I get mental issues from it.
that's true. That's true.
All
Next up
right.
we have Tyler the Creator.
If you're a girl and you like Tyler the Creator, you 100% love goofy guys. Like that is 100% your type. You're into just like silly, like when people talk about the Alvin and the Chipmunks comparison, like the Alvin guys, the Simon guys, they like the Fedor guys. And I think there's something about that. There's something to that. I think they're definitely nice. I want to put this. I want to put this in the quality girls section, and I'm tempted to put it above Billie Eilish. I feel like that's a solid spot for it. What do you think?
A little. We're gonna give a little pushback here. Something like Igor. It's something we talked about in this video, talked about before, and we've talked about it multiple times in this video. But like Igor is like an aggressive album. It's a good album, but it's very aggressive, and I don't really know if I want a girl that's like aggressive. You know, like if like my kid is doing something terrible, I don't want my wife, the mother of my child's first reaction to be aggressive. She should be calm and collected. If it's something that needs to be taken in an aggressive sense, she'll look towards me. If it's something that needs to be taken in a calming manner or demeanor, she'll be able to do it herself. So I think there's a bit of a musical composition, I guess, issue or type of music issue, depending on what she listens to. But yeah, I feel like you're spot on with the whole goofy aesthetic.
It depends on what your favorite album is. If your favorite album is something old, if it's something like you're definitely getting into that very aggressive territory. But if you like his newer stuff, maybe your favorite album is like Flower Boy, like that's a W.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Flower Boy, like yeah, that sounds like I'm asking you out, you know.
Yeah.
I think this is fun right here.
Yep. That's good.
Next up we have Clairo.
I'm a
I'll let
big fan of Clairo, so I'm gonna be a little biased here. I like a lot of her music. If you're a girl and you like Clairo, you were most definitely active on TikTok in 2020 and 2021. That song, Sophia, was the first song that I found by her, and then like a good bit after that, I was put onto a lot of her other music. And the group that she's in, that she also sings in, I forget what it's called, but she has that one really popular song on TikTok. It's really good too. It's again, it gets into that. It's that sad music, but it's also, it's good. I think this deserves a high spot, 100%.
yeah, I'll let you rank it because I'm not familiar with the fan base or the music too much. I'll let you rank this one.
I would put Clairo Girls like behind Taylor Swift.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Just 'cause the music is so good. And I love Clairo. I have for a long time.
All right, next up we have Hozier. Is it Hozier or is it Hozier?
It's Hozier, I'm pretty sure.
You're also a big
Hozier,
Hozier fan, right?
I am a big Hozier fan. Hozier girls are W's 100%. I know a lot of girls that like Hozier that are lesbians, but I feel like a Hozier. If you're a girl and you listen to Hozier, you definitely like men that are like over the top. You definitely like men that like go the extra mile and are just like really sweet. You definitely like nice guys. I feel like he embodies that really good. His latest EP came out not that long ago, and the song "Too Sweet" just like perfectly encapsulates kind of like that vibe. I know the song isn't really about like from the perspective of like that type of a guy, but most of the girls when they post about that or like they say it like this is I need a man that like talks about women like this or whatever, like they like nice guys, and I feel like there's something sweet about that. I would put these girls in Certified Baddie.
I agree. Most time, almost every time I'm like I see a girl's social media, I know her from IRL, or I know things about her from what she posts, and I'm like, this would be like a lady that like just like from my analysis, I sort of I hyperanalyze people for some reason, and I'm like, if this person's like would like be a good wife to someone, whoever they're dating or whatever, would be like a good wife or fits that archetype. A lot of times they listen to Hozier, so I'd agree with you on that. I think we could put it like right below TV Girl.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Next up, we have is it Phoebe Bridges or Phoebe Bridgers? Yeah, Phoebe Bridgers, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It's sad girl music, 100%, but I think it's good. I feel like this can go probably below Mitski. I feel like there's definitely some
I
overlap.
agree. I agree 100%.
Um,
A lot of I notice a lot of girls listen to Phoebe Bridgers, also listen to like Noah Khan, but you're not getting like the guarantee of Noah Khan, you know?
yeah, definitely. It's definitely a lot sadder. And I feel like you get more like mentally ill. Like I get more like I don't want to say like femcel vibes from Phoebe Bridgers, but I feel like just like more mental illness, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these like other artists like in the bottom or like the second and third category, certified baddie and a lot of quality girls, like good women to date, and then you'll have to test whether they're marriage material. I feel like that falls with Phoebe Bridgers. Like that's a good woman to date, but you know there's gonna be some women that maybe you date and be like, yeah, this is not someone you wanna marry. So I feel like that's like the perfect spot.
Hmm. Yeah.
Next up, we have Breaking Benjamin. It's not the most relevant female, artist for females, but I just wanted someone to cover that alt rock post grunge era, and also I went to a concert by them, so I can talk about the people there. There was like when I went, it was like a weird mix between emo girls and dad rock girls. Like there was like women there that were like, because they played music before the event, and I was sort of paying attention to like what each woman was singing. They had a Catch Your Breath, Dial Tone playing. They had Bad Omens, Just Pretend playing. That's like those like emo songs, very new emo hardcore type of stuff. And it's like a lot of them they're very attractive. I don't know if they're exactly people I'd want to take home to my mother and parents to see. And there was also like very cute dad rock girls that were just like they didn't know the emo songs, but they knew that were playing before the event, but they knew the Breaking Benjamin songs. So I think that's like 50-50 or quality girls. Like that's somewhere over here probably. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's more on the dad rock side, I guess. So I feel like that's probably like right here, right here. What do you think?
I've I've never met a girl that listens to Breaking Benjamin. I've never even met a girl that's like really into like metal music outside of like old like thrash. So I'm just gonna go with whatever you want, wherever you want to put this.
Well, it's like Breaking Benjamin, it's like alt rock, but it's like also like somewhat dadcore. So I feel like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like it has some of both worlds. I feel like
You
it's like right there.
definitely, if you're a girl and you like Breaking Benjamin, I feel like you definitely got that from your dad. Like somewhere that came from your father.
Yeah, but there's also women
You
there
already said
that like
that.
I looked at them and I was like, they probably don't have a father. So it's a bit of
That's also probably true.
it's a bit of like there's quality growth.
It's a good spot. Yeah, I'd say it's a good spot.
All right, next up who do we have up here? Oh, we have Motley Crue up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're also a big Motley Crue fan, right?
I love Mötley Crüe. A lot of metal. I'm a huge metal guy, and I like all different types of metal. I like primarily 80s thrash, and a lot of those guys don't like glam, but I do. I think it's great. If you're a girl and you listen to Mötley Crüe, though, you're definitely probably like 50 years old, and you smoke cigarettes, and you have a massive crush on Nikki Sixx, and you probably let all of the band members do not good things to you. So I'm tempted to put this down like near the Nirvana. I want to put this below the Nirvana girls.
Yeah, maybe like if they're like 50 years old, there's a good chance they probably already have kids, which means like maybe at the time, like 30 years or whenever Motley Crue started making music, maybe there's good women then, but like probably like now. I think I don't know if it's as low. I feel like there are dad rock types also in Motley Crue because some
I
of their
was
stuff
I
is
was just gonna
less.
say that. Like if you know like maybe like Kickstart My Heart's like, you know,
Yeah,
your
yeah, if you
favorite
listen to like
song.
Kickstart My Heart, yeah,
Like
some of their stuff
yeah,
isn't like as
that's enough.
thrash or metal. It's kind of just like
But if you're like really into the glam rock, you know, band like outside of just Motley Crue, probably not so desirable. I want to put that blow down. Maybe we can raise it up. What do you think? 50. Yeah, that's a good spot.
I really want to talk about this. We have Harry Styles up next.
Go off, King.
Dude, so there was this girl. like her. She seems like I've interacted with her. She seems like a nice lady. And I was gonna ask her out. Things it didn't happen. I was gonna I was actually like going on my way to talk to her. I saw her at a public event, and someone got in my way, and I couldn't talk to her. She has me blocked now because I I kind of made fun of her in Instagram messages. And I don't want to use her as a sole example, but I feel like he's like flamboyant guy. That's his aesthetic. Um, his music is like catchy, so it's like if you're like kind of into it, that's fine. But like I feel like people that are really into Harry Styles probably have that issue to where they fall into the trap of they don't have like a male figure in their life, so they which I mean that sucks for them. I mean I'm not gonna blame them for that, but they don't have a male figure in their life, so they don't really know like what type of men to look for, and they look for someone that would like leave them or not fill in the gap that they really need or fill in that motherly role that their mother filled in for them. You know, I feel like that's sort of like the archetype I get with Harry Styles girls. And I have a friend, mutual of ours, who dated Harry Styles girl, and he told me very bad things about her. So I'm really tempted to put this very low, but I'm interested to hear your perspective on it.
I think you're spot on with the taste in men. I mean, if you are a girl and you like Harry Styles, I think that you described Harry Styles as just flamboyant. Nah, gay. Gay. It's not just flamboyant. It is about as gay as you get without being gay. If you're a girl and you like Harry Styles, again, you're 100% bisexual. If you say that you're not, you're lying to yourself, and you definitely like feminine men. But I want to say he's got some good music.
Yeah, like
I feel like we can put
if you're
this
like
high up just because of that. You know, I feel like there's a lot of quality girls. I feel like that's a good section for this. Maybe we put this above the K-pop girls, but below Billie Eilish. I feel like that's a good spot for it, or
you
maybe
know,
above Billie Eilish.
from my experience, I'm inclined to put it 50-50 because it's
I know a
like if
girl
you're
that
like
likes Harry
if you're
Styles, and
into
she
if
likes
you're in
feminine men, is bisexual, but she's very sweet.
if you're into like Watermelon Sugar Ice, like that's cool, you know, or like some of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
popular songs. But if you're like really into Harry Styles, you're probably really into him as a person, which is a bit
yeah.
scary.
But then you also have the girls that are coming from like One Direction that were
Yeah,
like in the scene, and I feel like that's one a lot more acceptable.
I agree. I agree.
So I would put. What are you thinking?
I feel like it has to be like top of 50-50.
I'm good with that.
All right, we got another dad rock band here, Guns N' Roses.
I'm a massive Guns N' Roses fan,
I
100%.
feel like that
I
has to be
think
like
that
up here, right? Do
ooh,
you agree or do you disagree?
I don't think it's
Actually,
I don't think it's that high. Nowhere near wifey material, I would say. But I think that we could probably say there's a lot of quality girls in this. I know some girls that listen to Guns N' Roses, and they're sweet. You know, I wouldn't describe them as bad, but you do have that side. You know, that is just you have that undesirable side. I feel like with all those old rock bands, you have that undesirable side. I don't think that that kills the entire demographic of listeners, but I would put this definitely in the quality girls section, but maybe just like lower in it.
well, like how I guess how mainstream would you describe their music? Because it's kind of just like like a lot of classic
Yeah.
rock is more just like poppy rock. I guess you could describe it as.
It depends on what songs you like. Depends on what your favorite albums are. If you really like Appetite for Destruction, you just like the classic stuff. You know, if your favorite song is like Sweet Child of Mine or like something like that, it's like that's fine, that's chill. But if you're like really deep into like Guns N' Roses, I feel like that's a lot. That's worse. And you also definitely have a crush on Axl Rose.
Yeah, that's weird. That if you have a crush on Axl Rose, that's weird.
Yeah, especially because he's like fat and ugly and looks like a pig and sounds like Mickey Mouse now.
Yeah, but that's also like
All of
give
them.
give the incels a chance. That's also like find yourself a Guns N' Roses girl, I guess. You know.
Okay, if you're a girl and you like what Axl Rose looks like now, that might just be wifey material because that's anybody can have
Like
that.
you're looking for a dad too, you know. You're looking for like a you're looking
Yeah,
for the alcoholic who watches football every Sunday and asks you to grab him a beer. You know,
the standard is just low, if you like that.
I'm inclined to
So
put it
I
on
don't
the
know.
higher end of here or the bottom end of here.
I would say higher end of low quality girl or a lot of quality girls, not low quality
I
girls.
think it's like right here, right here, right here.
That's
I don't
fair.
know, like okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Below Taylor Swift.
Next up, we have Lil Peep. This is yours to take.
If you like Lil Peep and you're a girl, you do drugs. No way
That's
around it. Even if you
that
don't do drugs, you do drugs.
that's a good
Uh,
synopsis.
yeah,
It's like
but I feel like there's some nice girls that listen to Lil Peep, and even if they do drugs, they're still probably sweet people.
okay.
I wouldn't say that they're disgusting, gross, evil. Stay away. I would put this probably in the you'll be lucky to find someone whose wife material if their top artist is Lil Peep. He's got a lot of great music. If your favorite song is like Star Shopping and you like heard it on TikTok or
I'm
whatever,
gonna put him below
that's
Amy
totally
Winehouse because Amy Winehouse still has the dad rock demographic.
yeah. But he also has a lot of really sweet songs. He's got some love songs. He's got some songs that are like actually maybe not love songs. They're more like obsessive songs. You definitely like guys that are obsessed if you listen to Lil Peep. If you find him attractive, that's concerning. But yeah, no, I feel like that's a good spot for him right there.
Except we have Bad Bunny. This is also yours to take.
Yeah,
No.
if you're a girl and you like Bad Bunny, you're Mexican, or you like Mexican guys. Nothing against that, but I don't know many girls like in person that listen to Bad Bunny. I feel like he definitely fits into more of that, just like that the rap genre, the Drake, the Party Next Door. Like probably there's a lot of overlap there. I
Oh,
would put him above Ice Spice simply just because he's more mainstream.
so like the bad Mexican side. Like there's like the good Mexican side, like if you listen to Spanish music or I don't know, something like the Mexican type that like wants to cook for you, wants to clean for you, wants to be your wife, make like 20 kids.
No, it's not like that. It's more
It's
like the
not it doesn't
ratchet.
sound like that type. It sounds like the the
Yeah,
the F
no,
around
it's
big
definitely the
booty
ratchet.
Latina type.
Yeah, like hood, like Mexican girls. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's not. Yeah, it's not what you're thinking.
yeah.
But they are physically attractive. I'll give them that. I'll give the Latina girls the physically attractive part. But I feel like we definitely got to put that. I'll put that low.
Right, we got the classical music demographic of female fans.
If
In
you're
like
a girl and you listen to classical music, unironically, I want to say it's a green flag just because everything else is so bad. You definitely like you have some taste there, but also at the same time, it's like, what are you doing? Like you're a freaking nerd. If you're a girl and your top artist is Beethoven, you're a freaking nerd. Or you play piano or something. I don't know. I feel like this is definitely like this could go 50-50, but I'm tempted just because it's like not something the girls listen to, just stay away. Like it's just what do you think, Carter?
I don't want to classify classical music as peaceful because it's not. It's definitely
No.
not peaceful. There's a lot of peaceful music, but from an orchestral standpoint, it's like, or an instrumentation standpoint, it is peaceful or natural, I guess you could call it. So like, there's like an aesthetic towards like if you're into like natural sounding things, that's probably generally like a good thing. But I also know a lot of people that listen to classical music that are just like smelly, I guess you'd call them, or a bit gross. So I feel like it's
Wait,
probably like
be a,
50-50
be
territory.
be a little bit more specific when you say smelly. What do you mean?
I don't smell them, but they just look smelly. Like they
You're not like Joe Bidening on them. Like,
no, I'm not giving them the old sniff test.
what
Dude,
girls on here would you give the sniff test? What's your number one girl that you would give the sniff test on this list?
great. So
Not the Lana girls. They smell like cigarettes.
I gotta see if I can test how
The
how
Noah Khan girls smell
sexually
like
innocent she
alcohol.
is, I guess. From the sniff test. We'll see if we can tell. So I guess that had to be one of these like 50-50 or quality girls. Probably like you giving Olivia girl the good sniff test. That's what you do.
You heard it here first, folks. If you're an Olivia Rodrigo girl, Carter is giving you the sniff test.
Yeah, yeah. While I pull out my guts and sour CDs in my car and we listen to it together, we're gonna be
Yeah,
driving down the interstate and I'm gonna be looking off the
that's a
road, my nose on your
that's a dream
shoulder.
date.
You'll think I'm like cuddling on you or something. I'm really like giving you the good sniff. Making sure you I just gotta make sure you put yourself together well. Like if you care about how you smell, like that's probably a good thing. Just gotta make sure you
Yeah,
take care of yourself.
that's a dream date, honestly, Carter. You're making me kind of jealous describing that.
I think this is definitely 50-50 territory. I'd put it above the gay guy. I feel inclined to put it above the gay guy.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Next up, this is our last one. We have Tom MacDonald, which is just placeholder for political, I guess, music or politically involved women.
Ella Malden, I'm looking at you. I know Tom MacDonald is your number one artist. All right. I'm staring you dead in the face, Ella Malden. I know there's no lying. Tom MacDonald is your number one artist. And for that, I mean, we just got to say wifey material.
That's I am not respond. I was gonna like go off on this, and then you had to bring her up, which is crazy. She's more than Bon Jovi, by the way. But,
Where's he? Why don't we put him on this list?
um, oh, we've talked about this before, where it's like it's good that a woman has conservative values. Like you want a woman that's not gonna sell herself and is gonna pass on your values to your kids, but you also don't want like a political radical woman. And I feel like Tom MacDonald is like he fits that. Like he's not radical. He sort of just says things that are obvious. So I feel like he fits that threshold.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I think of a Tom MacDonald girl, I think of Blair White just because of that music video. Blair White with a MAGA hat, holding an AR-15 behind a tank, or like driving a tank in front of a tank, something like that. I'm not sure how appealing that aesthetic is. Maybe there's some guys out there that are into dudes, but I want to say 50-50 on Tom MacDonald girls or like politically involved girls in general.
Actually, yeah, I agree with that. A lot politically, especially if they're like in politics, like they hold political positions. If they are, stay away from them. I know there's like a lot of stories of like because women obtain
It's like
power
lawyer
through
girls.
women obtain their power through sexual drive and through using men for the most part. There's not a lot of women that have like the ability to be like a public speaker or a leader of ideas in the way like a guy is. So like they sort of have to like appeal through sexual means. So a lot of women in the political sphere, like in politics, like they're in positions, will like engage in activity with dudes in positions and then use that as blackmail for further power, or will accuse that guy of doing bad things to them to tarnish their reputation. So stay away from those guys, from those girls. But like if she's like dad music, or she's close with their dad and likes brief like Republican stuff, that's okay. But if she's like into like politics, like she watches like the Daily Wire or PragerU, that's a bit weird. So I think this is
Yeah,
50-50 territory.
yeah, I completely agree. Like, I feel like Brett Cooper also definitely listens to Tom MacDonald.
Do you think Brett Cooper's a dude or a woman?
Ooh, that's tough. I feel like she's a clone of Ben Shapiro that they've been manufacturing. And I don't know if you know in Star Wars, but the new show, The Bad Batch, they got these like female clones now. I feel like Brett Cooper is the female clone of
You
Ben
seen the
Shapiro.
photo of Ben Shapiro of Brett Cooper as a kid?
I have when she was like 13 and she
Yeah,
looks like this. She looks like a dude. Again,
yeah.
spitting image of Ben Shapiro. 50-50 on Tom McDonald, 100%.
I'd put above the gay guy, below Beethoven. I think that's a good spot because it's also like
Yeah, that's a good spot.
if you like if I'm riding with you, like I'm not riding in your car. I'm driving. But if I'm driving and you start putting on Tom McDonald, I might hit a sign or kick you out of the car or something. Something's happening. I'm not sitting
I'm
down
definitely
through.
gonna vibe and I'm definitely gonna rock with the music, but you're also getting left on the curb.
Yeah, I'm leaving on a curb and then listening to it by myself. Things like
Yeah,
that too.
and then you're gonna go pick up a disabled veteran and start driving him around.
I like this list. Is there anyone that you want to give like your final thoughts on, maybe to persuade me to move it?
I feel like we've got a pretty good list. I don't know. I feel like the Lana being not in the wifey material is just rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. But I completely see your side. If you don't want to move it, I feel like that's the only one. Other than that, I feel like we're dead on.
I think the Lana thing is more of a. I guess I'm older than you, so I'm more looking for like a why. If you're looking for, I guess you are as well, but there's a bit less seriousness to it, I guess.
I think I've just got a little bit more like I've got a more broader perspective. I've got a little bit more, I'm looking at the fan base as a whole. I'm looking at like a very diverse group of people whenever I look at all these artists. So yeah, that's why I say that. But I see where you're coming from totally. We can leave it there. We can
I
leave
think
it there.
that's, but I do agree with you. I think they're definitely attractive, 100%, 100%. Except for like one or two, I know, 100%. So I feel like that's a good spot. I also have to add, I have bad experience with Alana girls, so that also has to be taken into account. So
Now, fortunately, I'm the Lana guy the girls have bad experiences with instead of the other way around.
yeah, I think this
But
is a
this is a good list.
yeah, this was fun. We're probably gonna end up doing more tier lister content like this. We have some cool ideas coming up. But we'll definitely bring Carson back on for the channel for that. Thank you for coming on,
Totally.
Carson. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me, Carter. It was a pleasure doing this. I love giving my take on all these things. Love giving my perspective. So yeah, appreciate it.
All right, see you guys. Bye bye.